After passing the hotspot, the race settled and the competitors eased into the natural flow of the ocean. With the wind at their backs and the swell building, it is now time to work the small swells and try and link as many together as possible. This is where tactics vary, as some head higher on the swells to the right and others take the money early and head left. With the race now out in the open ocean, former Olympic champ Clint Robinson is asserting his authority. Close behind, a race in four is developing between Gold Coaster Jeremy Cotter, South Africa's David Mockey, Sydney's Murray Stewart and local charger Reece Baker. We spoke to Stewart last week in Sydney. And your goals in paddle sports?
I'd love to win a really big international race. I recently won the 20 Beaches, which is one of the biggest domestic races, but the Perth race and the Molokai and the South African race in Dubai, those are the major races, and I'd love to win one of those.
And Olympics obviously is something that you're aiming for?
Yeah, no, definitely. My goal was to get to Beijing. I missed out on that, but I'm definitely going to focus on trying to get to London.
So you're pretty all-round at the moment. You're the current world surf life-saving sprint ski champion. You've just knocked off Kenny Wallace in the Grand Prix event, the current Olympic champion, and you've got the Doctor coming up. So if you win the Doctor this weekend, you'd be flying pretty high, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, it's been a good year so far. I got a big win under my belt, beating Timmy in the 20 beaches, and I was quite pleased with that. He's always been a bit of an idol of mine. I'd really like to get another win in this sort of competition against the international paddlers. So yeah.
And your favourite paddling spot or session? To a newcomer to the sport, on how they could get into this kind of sport, what would they do to start?
I think it's the way I got into the sport through surf lifesaving is quite a common way to get into the sport. But recently there've been sort of more novices coming from a non-lifesaving background, and I think for them they've definitely got to start off on the more stable skis and the flatter conditions. But I think the sooner they can throw themselves into this sort of racing, the better, and the more fun they'll have. So I'd say obviously start off, get competent in the flat conditions, and but then move into the swell as soon as you can.
And what do you most like about going to WA to race?
Well, I haven't actually been to WA to do an ocean race yet. I went. I've been twice to the Surf Lifesaving Nationals there, and the Nationals are terrible because they're so windy. But I think that's going to serve in our interest this time. So I'm kind of looking forward to going there now.
A third of the way into the race sits the fairway buoy, a major focal point on course selection. It's at this point that the best tactics are unveiled. Robinson reaches the buoy right on the money. If you went too far to the left, you'll be cutting back upwind to get around the buoy. If you went too far to the right, you haven't taken advantage of all the rideable chop. We are now in the back half of the race, and the faster surf skis are starting to gobble up the stand-ups and the OC1s. With Observation City and the race finish starting to come into view, competitors are really putting the hammer down. While the race is unfolding, it's interesting to look at the age differences between competitors in this field. There are paddlers just out of their teens racing veterans in their 40s for the same place. One of those veterans is former Ironman champ Michael Clues. We caught up with Michael last week.
Cluesy, what got you into ocean paddling?
Mate, pretty much getting back into it after having been in the surf lifesaving all my life as a junior. But getting out of it for a while just to get myself career involved with building and so forth. But just getting back in that desire, more or less competitive attitude.
So you're probably most famous for being the cover of the Nutrigrain Ironman board game. Is it going to be hard to reach those dizzy heights again in ocean paddling?
Well, it was pretty hard not to knock back all those sales and trips around the world because it's such a big seller. Yeah, John Sands was knocking down my door for a while, but unfortunately, no, it's I haven't got the body of a 17-year-old anymore. A lot harder to do the training, so no, it's good. I'm enjoying it though. I'm really looking forward to doing some more paddling, getting around Australia and seeing some old friends again. It's good fun.
So you're going over to WA this weekend to race in the Doctor. What do you most like about WA? What attracts you to the place?
It's a beautiful place, beautiful people. Been there many times, with yourself of course. Pretty much guaranteed a good win no matter what over there, so that's what I'm looking forward to. Like I said, not expecting too much, only getting back into it. But, you know, catch up with a few friends, have a few beers after the race, we'll look forward to it.
Three-time Olympic medalist Clint Robertson has won the 23-kilometre World Cup race from Rottnest Island to Scarborough Beach. More than 150 world-class paddlers endured the tough conditions, struggling to see the mainland due to heavy haze from yesterday's fires. But Robertson prevailed to win the richest ocean paddling race in the country.
It's a very different psyche, to doing events like this. You just got to relax and go with it and, really try and pace yourself over the required distance, and it's a ton of fun, mate, it really is.
Robertson now has his sights set on the 52-kilometre event in Hawaii, the most prestigious in the world.
A momentous victory for Robinson. Solid paddles from Cotter and Mockey for second and third. Fantastic sprint finish between youngsters Stewart and Baker, finishing in that order. Katie Pocock put her name on the ladies' winner check from Kirsty Holmes and local Ruth Hyman. Courtney Gray and Fernanda Ameti took out the respective categories in the stand-ups, while Corelle Tresnick won the OC1.